port 11. Finally it's happening. I'm heading far east. Welcome to Highway 1, Trans-Canada. Having a coffee break here in the middle of Ontario on the roadside. Yeah, basically it's a road trip for family reasons, I would say. So me, 49-year-old, is on the road with my 40-year-old all the way to the far eastern end of Halifax, picking up my 38-year-old with my 50-year-old boat on it. So low tech at its best. Let's keep going. Morning. Well, this is in Ontario, pretty close to the border to Quebec. A wonderful spot to pass the night, which is kind of a funny realization I had last night about 1 o'clock this morning, that in Ontario you're not allowed to park between 11 o'clock at night and 5 o'clock in the morning on the official parking areas along the highway. For commercial vehicles, apparently it seems possible, but the moment you go to the car parking, I've seen that a few times now, there are signs and cameras that between 2300 and 0500, no parking allowed. So in theory, you can't even stop over and have a piss. Well, you know, that's where these spots come in handy. Ain't that beautiful? But yeah, I must admit I slept in, and I better keep going. Merci Québec, j'ai pu remplir la gourde et les bouteilles. Il y avait un signe sur la route qui disait qu'il y avait de l'eau ici, donc voilà. Je me suis arrêté là au plein milieu du parc. C'est un parc encloisonné avec plein de règles. Il y a l'interdiction de fumer à plus proche de 9 mètres à l'entrée. Ouais, ça ferme pendant la nuit, donc pas de feu, pas de camping, les chiens la laissent. Et moi je pensais que j'étais dans un pays libre, quoi, hein. Well, we're in the dead city center of Montréal. Et là je me sens un peu déplacé, hein, honnêtement, avec mon équipement de Oil Worker of Saskatchewan. Non te Dieu. Mais ça a bien changé, hein. Ça fait une année que j'ai débuté ici à Montréal. Voilà, ma première nuit au Canada, j'ai passé à Montréal. Donc on va faire un petit détour et je dirai bonjour à l'El Hostel où j'ai passé la première nuit. On se verra là. On se rapproche d'installer, voilà, c'était ma première nuit au Canada Ouais, je me sens bienvenu ici à Montréal, hein. C'est une cité merveilleuse. Mais honnêtement, comme touriste, ouais. Mais pour en vivre dans une cité, ce n'est pas moi. Hein. Vraiment, ce n'est pas moi. Donc voilà, j'aime bien faire visite. Mais après, il faut que je m'en aille. Hein. Mon V8 à tuyau libre, ce n'est pas le monde de Derrick. Hein. Voilà, on va vite s'arrêter. Donc justement, dans cette maison là-bas, voilà, j'ai passé ma première nuit au Canada. Voilà les gars, on est en train de quitter la cité. En fait, dans mon premier vidéo, en taxi, on est venu par ce pont-là pendant la nuit, quasi 1, 2, 3 heures le matin. Donc voilà, ça me rend les mémoires. Et voilà, je suis sur le bypass de Québec. C'est assez rigolo. Ils ont annoncé que c'est la capitale nationale. Donc, vu que Québec est qu'une province au niveau Canada, eux, ils se regardent comme une nation. Allez! Voilà le Saint-Laurent. Ah, on se rapproche de la mer. Tada! Mais ça construit des routes merveilleuses ici. On se rapproche de la frontière au Nouveau-Brunswick. Donc, c'est pas mal, hein. Je suis impressionné. Là. Picture of proof, we've made it. This is where back in December 2018 my entire journey started. I'm stoked. This is awesome. There you go. Hallelujah. Look at what's parked in the corner here. All the way in the green. We are on our final approach to LowTechDerrick.com. Oh, I didn't make it that far. I'm about 50 k's out of town. And I mounted the mud guards to be halfway legal. Here's the end result. So the starboard side mud guard has wrapped itself around the tire. Gotta get that fixed, I reckon. I got the wheel fixed up alright, so it's a late night drive. Picture of proof, my friends. I made it. Same as last year, only with a part of my belongings. Because my favorite rock center has fucked it up to be, short. But now that I've slept here, a good night's sleep, came about midnight, I arrived at my place. I'm excited. The work starts. It's a lot of work. Obviously, all this delay over the years hasn't helped. Looking just at the outside of my future homestead to be, as a part of the roof missing up there. I've got to readdress the sides of the steeple and a few other bits and pieces just to secure the site for now, because every day that I'm here and every day that I'm waiting for my favorite truck center to finish my truck is obviously a few $100, so I have interest in getting organized and making the maximum of it. But at least I got some of my stuff here, so I can function and finally continue where I left off, a year ago, and where I started about 4 years ago. Crazy. Let's get going. Well, there you go. Let's get that cabin going. So first up, there's a clean-up session and a laundry session. Let's boogie! While I'm driving to the dump, let's have a bit of an enjoyment on the scenery here. I mean, this is beautiful, guys. It's slush, it's green, it's humid. Yes, it has mosses all over the place, but it is the ocean playground. I mean, all these inlets, they're all like teeming of nature. That's amazing. Oh, for an old seafarer, this feels like home. Alright, my camp is set up. Done my logistics trip to the tip and some shopping. Everything's spread out. Looks messy, but it's now an organized mess and all the stuff is at the right place. So yeah, really happy. The weather is quite humid, sunny, with patches of rain, so that's why it's that lush and green around here. Not to say I should clear it all, but since my truck is still in Halifax and all the equipment is on in the container, I gotta do with what I gotta do. So got myself a little rainwater catchment system here on the cabin. Seems to work quite well, thanks to the few drops this morning. My outhouse is perfect. Super lush and green. Not to say far too lush and green around the church. My cabin has a new lock and everything. It's now a temporary camp. It still needs some work, put some shelving in here and a wardrobe and make it all nice and livable. So that's going to be my physical home for the next, I would say 3 to 5 years. Because obviously being on contract in Saskatchewan, this is now a holiday project rather than a downtime project like the perfect plan I keep talking about. Yeah, anyhow, let's look forward. So my bike is running, looks very sad. It's been in storage now obviously altogether for nearly 3 years, so it needs a lot of work. Contrary to my initial plan, I'm going to take my machinery with me and make it a winter project in my spare time in Saskatchewan to put it all back into a state of readiness that is pleasing to the eye and technically sound. So my next big project, having found all sorts of bits and pieces and leftovers around the property, is the steeple, which has suffered some damage in a few corners back when Hurricane Ian passed. So yesterday I've cleaned it all out and I'm gonna crawl up here and give you a bit of a view on, the churchy part of my church. So this is the second floor. I cleaned it out yesterday, it was full of rot. So these north, east and south facing lamellas, they're actually movable and they still work. Very amazing, 110 years old, and that all still works. So that's raw lumber, they nailed together. There's not one single screw in here, except for the repairs that have been done afterwards. So my aim today is to open one access, which is rotten, these two, and put some tar shingles outside, just to make sure it's gonna last another 3-4 years and can dry out in between time while I'm working in Saskatchewan. So yeah, just give me... There you go, that's the view in between the lamellas. That's amazing. So I'm now about 10 meters above ground, and from the other side I can see above the forest and down the bay. Let's crawl up to the third floor and give you a bit of a view. So there you go, I'm in the third floor of the steeple, on the height of the rooftop of the church itself. This is the view above the treetops. So down there is the bay, running all the way up to the inlet where the boat ramp is. Looks fairly small from up here. My little logistics setup. So coming back to the steeple, I pulled up my ladder and I shall crawl up there somehow and get this all fixed up so that it'll... So the most important bits are done. I managed to put the tip of the steeple back on and wrap the remaining bits in plastic, so hopefully that's gonna last another 2 or 3 years. Footage of proof, my friends. I made it. For the first time in 4 years, my entire materialistic life is at one spot. That's absolutely gorgeous, and I'm very thankful for Lady Luck having played the cards like that, although it was a very frustrating exercise. My perfect plan had 3 years of delay at least, is an economical catastrophe with an unplanned Chevy attached to it. But here it is, my future homestead to be, with the modified plan that I had to turn my list upside down, as in first machinery, then homestead. So I camped on the truck yard for 2 days. They weren't able to get it all fixed as they promised, invoiced, and I paid for. But we have reached a gentleman's agreement, so they've patched it up in a way that I can drive. Although now, on the test drive about 190 k's from Halifax to my place, I must say I have more gremlins than I had before, including new ones. But they're all solvable. So I will change my plan and take all my machinery with me, as light as possible, because the truck isn't really le grand foudre de guerre, hein? But now it's Hurricane Lee is approaching, so I'm closing everything down, batting down the shutters, and hope for not too much rain, so that I have 2 days at least to do all the transloading, and then I should be on my merry way. And all of this has to go in here. Now, corrosion is really bad. Everything's been standing for like nearly 3 years altogether, so it's taking its vengeance. The trailer is empty. My household is halfway organized, at least stacked in boxes. The storm has passed, still got some wind, and now the tricky bit will be getting the trailer off the truck. Ta-da! So, the box trailer is empty, is off. There's just some leftover supplies in there. We have a beautiful sunny day after the storm, so everything's drying up. And here are the beauties. Alright folks, let's do all the way back, 4,300 k's. Everything's loaded up and secured. Wish me luck that the 38-year-old runs as well as the 40-year-old. As well as the nearly 50-year-old here on the back. So I have no idea about the weight. I'm taking a guess about 8 tons all up. Let's boogie. Well, about 3 hours in and my 4 cylinders are still working, so let's touch wood. Et bien allez les gars, on a juste fait Québec. Et ça roule encore avec les 4 cylindres, hein, le Renault, il performe dans les limites. Et voilà, on a fait Québec, la capitale. C'est déjà rigolo. Ontario, open for business, ouvert aux affaires. Voilà, on a fait une province de plus. Well, this is Ottawa for you. Just cruising past it. There we go, crawling up the hills in Ontario. Just look at the colors, that's Ontario Forest. West of North Bay. That's amazing. Welcome to Key West of Ontario. Well, it definitely sounds better than here. I just had a 3-hour setback. I lost the exhaust, just rusted through, and it got burnt and I hit the oil line, so there we go. Lost some time, but thanks to LowTech, it's all fixable along the road. Footage of proof, my friends. Footage of proof. It is done. I'm on my last stretch.